48 teams entered the 2026 World Cup. Only 32 will survive the group stage. And out of all 12 groups in this tournament, one of them was built differently. One of them was loaded with more firepower, more pressure, and more danger than any other battlefield in the competition. They call it Group I. But before a single ball was kicked, everyone inside football already had a different name for it: the kill zone. 4 nations, 1 World Cup champion from the past, 1 African powerhouse, 1 Scandinavian team built around the most lethal striker on the planet, and 1 underdog who fought through 40 months of qualifying hell just to even be here. Only 2 of them are guaranteed to walk out alive. This is the inside story of the most brutal battlefield in the 2026 World Cup. How it was built, how the first shots were already fired, and what happens next. To understand why Group I became the kill zone, you need to understand how the World Cup draw actually works. 48 teams, 12 groups of 4. Each group gets 1 team from 4 different strength categories called pots. In theory, this is supposed to create balance. 1 strong team, 1 solid team, 1 rising team, 1 underdog, spread evenly across every group. It almost always works exactly as planned. Group I is the exception. From Pot 1, the strongest seeds in the tournament, came France, World Cup champions in 2018, runners-up in Qatar in 2022, a squad so deep in talent that some of their backup players would start for most other nations on Earth. From Pot 2 came Senegal, the reigning power of African football, physical, fast, and dangerous on the counterattack, a team that has already proven back in 1902 that they can knock out a reigning World Cup champion on the opening day of a tournament. From Pot 3 came Norway, and Norway in 2026 means one name above all others: Erling Haaland, a striker who finished European qualifying as the top scorer in the entire continent, a one-man blitzkrieg in the penalty box. And from Pot 4, through the longest, hardest road of any team in this tournament, came Iraq. 40 years from the World Cup stage, a brutal 28-month qualifying campaign that ended with a playoff win over Bolivia, achieved after a journey so chaotic it included buses, delayed flights, and barely any rest before kickoff. 4 completely different armies, 4 completely different fighting styles, dropped into the exact same 4-team battlefield. The moment the draw was finished, football experts around the world reacted the same way. This is it. This is the kill zone. June 16, 2026. The first shots of the kill zone were fired. 2 matches, same day, same group, 2 completely different battles. In the first encounter, France against Senegal, there were echoes of history. These 2 nations had met before, on the opening day of the 1992 World Cup, when Senegal pulled off one of the greatest shocks in tournament history against the reigning champions. This time, France made sure history did not repeat itself. Senegal came out aggressive, pressing high, trying to suffocate France's build-up before it could even start. For the first 20 minutes, it worked. Senegal's defensive line pushed forward like an advancing wall, cutting off passing lanes, forcing mistakes. But France's deeper midfield structure absorbed the pressure and then exploited it. Once Senegal's press was beaten just once, the gaps behind their high defensive line became wide-open corridors. France's attackers, fast, technical, and clinical, punished every single gap. Final score: France 3, Senegal 1. A statement. Not a dominant performance from start to finish, but a clear sign that the Les Bleus came to the kill zone ready for war. Meanwhile, in the second battle, Norway against Iraq, a different kind of story unfolded. Iraq set up exactly as expected, a disciplined 4-4-2, designed to sit deep, stay compact, and absorb pressure before hitting on the counterattack. A defensive shield built specifically to slow down Norway's attacking talent. For a while, the shield held, But against a striker like Erling Haaland, even small cracks become fatal. One half chance, one moment of hesitation in the box, that's all it takes. Haaland and Norway's attack found those cracks again and again. Final score, Norway 4, Iraq 1. After day one of the kill zone, the early picture was brutally clear. France and Norway, 2 wins, strong momentum, looking like the favorites to escape. Senegal and Iraq already facing must-win territory, with the group's 2 heavyweights still left to play. But in a group of death, nothing stays settled long. Here is the tactical truth that makes the kill zone so dangerous. One result does not decide a war. It only decides one battle. Senegal, after their opening loss, are now a wounded team. And wounded teams are often the most dangerous opponents on the entire battlefield. They have nothing to protect anymore, no reputation to defend, only one mission: attack, take risks, and force chaos. When they face Norway next, expect a completely different version of Senegal, one that presses higher, commits more players forward, and gambles everything on direct, fast transitions. A cornered opponent doesn't play it safe. A cornered opponent attacks like it has nothing left to lose. Meanwhile, France face Iraq, a side that has already shown it can organize a disciplined defensive shield. Iraq's coach has built his team specifically to frustrate stronger opponents, sit deep, and strike on the counterattack. France cannot underestimate that structure, no matter how big the gap in talent looks on paper. And then comes the final day, the day that decides everything. Under the new 2026 format, the 2 matches on the final match day in every group are played at the exact same time. No team can react to the other result as it happens. Everyone is fighting blind, simultaneously, with everything on the line. Norway versus France, Senegal versus Iraq, both kicking off in the same minute. There's another twist that makes the kill zone even more unpredictable. In this expanded 48-team format, it's not just the top 2 teams in each group that survive. The 8 best third-place teams across all 12 groups also advance to the knockout stage. This means even finishing third in the most dangerous group in the tournament could still be enough to stay alive if the goal difference and points tally are strong enough. It is a battlefield with a strange kind of escape route, a small one, but real. Every goal scored, every clean sheet protected, every single moment now carries weight far beyond the result of one match. This is what makes the kill zone unlike anywhere else in the tournament. Nobody is safe, not even the team sitting top of the group after match day 1.
2 spots, 4 armies, 1 final day. France need to finish the job. One slip, one bad afternoon against Iraq's defensive wall, and the most talented squad in the group could be staring at a different kind of pressure heading into the last match. Norway need Haaland to keep firing. Every group of death has one player capable of single-handedly dragging his nation through the chaos. For Norway, that man wears the number 9 shirt. Senegal need a response. Fast, physical, fearless. The kind of performance that turns a wounded animal into the most dangerous predator on the pitch. Iraq need a miracle, but miracles have happened before in this tournament's history, and after 40 years away from this stage, nobody inside that camp believes the story is already finished. 4 different missions, one shared battlefield. When the final match day arrives, Norway against France, Senegal against Iraq, kicking off in the exact same minute, there will be no hiding place left for anyone. This is the kill zone, and it is about to deliver its final verdict. Every World Cup has a kill zone. A group so loaded with talent, so evenly matched, so unpredictable that even the biggest names in the sport are not guaranteed safe passage through it. What makes Group I in 2026 so fascinating is not just the talent on display. It's the variety of stories colliding in one place. A former champion trying to prove they still belong at the top. an African powerhouse hunting redemption after an opening day defeat, a Senegalese nation built entirely around one of the most devastating strikers football has ever produced, and an underdog who simply refused to accept that 40 years away from the World Cup meant their story was over. This is the real lesson of a group of death. It does not matter how strong your name looks on paper. It does not matter how many superstars you have or how famous your badge is. On the days that matter most, the battlefield does not care about reputation. It only cares about who is willing to fight harder, adapt faster, and execute their plan when the pressure is at its absolute maximum. 2 teams will walk out of the kill zone into the knockout stage. 2 will go home. And by the time the final whistle blows on that last simultaneous match day, we will know exactly who had what it took to survive football's most brutal battlefield. Here's your question for today. Who do you think survives the kill zone? France and Norway? Or does Senegal's counterattack or Iraq's underdog spirit flip the script completely? Drop your prediction in the comments right now, before the final match day kicks off. I want to see who called it correctly once the dust settles. And if you want more tactical breakdowns like this throughout the entire 2026 World Cup, subscribe right now. We'll be covering every kill zone, every shock result, and every tactical trap as this tournament unfolds. The battlefield is just getting started.